Okay, moving to the next column, then it's the textual breakdown. So I've broken down the first four chapters for you, giving you some prompts, some highlights, and some thoughts to keep you in mind. So the forethought, where he talks about the veil and musical epigraphs of our spiritual strivings. This is where he talks the most about double consciousness in this theoretical, historical way. Of the Dawn of Freedom is where he looks at the idea of Reconstruction, right? So I've given a few more notes on Reconstruction here. Chapter 3 of Booker T. Washington and Others. So here he's taking on Booker T. Washington, and two sort of classic arguments about education are presented. Booker T. Washington presents the conservative, vocational argument of education, education from the bottom up, education as a means of conserving one's society, education as a way of holding on to things and establishing a foundation, with the idea that from a strong foundation later progress can come. And then Du Bois's idea of a more liberal, humanistic, higher education driven way of learning as a way to progress American society and intervene in political action. Chapter 4 of The Meaning of Progress. This is a memoiristic text from his own life, which has a type of short story aspect to it, right? It's got a sort of a narrative, literary narrative to it as well, not just memoiristic. So here he looks at his own attempts to be the talented 10th, right, from his education theory, the college-educated person to go into the backwoods of Tennessee, rural Tennessee, and try to establish public education for the African American communities there, and how difficult it is, right? So he talks about the progress, he talks about achievements, but in the end, it's he leaves in a sense of failure. So this is interesting that he writes it this way and he presents it this way. So he's sort of showing the disconnect or the problems between theory and praxis, and being honest about the difficulties with public education and the talented 10th idea of restoring vibrancy and dynamism to African American culture after centuries of slavery.